everyone. You're welcome to another edition of Life Essential Talk, where we talk about marriage, parenting, relationships, and fundamental life issues. Well, today I shall talk to you about what parents should not say to their children. Now, some parents would say to themselves, why should I be cautious of the things I say to my child? Yes, so we wonder, what are those things? Well, that is what I'm going to go into. I'm going to talk about those things that you should not tell your children, those negative things, those negative words that you should not use on your children. Now, negativity has a way of destroying a person's personality totally. When you use negative words on your children, it could affect their self-esteem. It could affect them totally. They will have low confidence. Now, not to talk of you, an adult. If someone uses a negative word on you, talks negatively to you, how would you feel? An adult, not to talk of children. They're very vulnerable and quite susceptible. So you have to be quite careful. You need to be careful of those negative words you use on your children. And you shouldn't forget this. There is power in the words of the mouth. I'm telling you, there's that power, especially when it comes from you, the parent. So be careful. It could affect that child. Now, let's look at those words, those negative remarks that you could use that could affect your children negatively. Now, the first one, I will just say a very few. There are so many, so many negative remarks that parents use on their children, but I'll just pick a few and outline right here. Now, the first one is this. When you say to your child, you are a useless child, you are a good for nothing child. Now, how can you say this to your child? A child, if you're the mother, you carry that child for 9 months. If you're the father, you nurtured that child, you're still nurturing that child, then how can you tell your child that he or she is useless? You're not even giving that child to grow up into a responsible adult. You have already condemned your child with your negative words. How can you refer to your child as useless? Some would say, oh, it's just anger. Just anger. Now, this is an emotion that we are always told to control. If we don't control them, honestly, it could lead to things that we might regret. And such are negative words, negative remarks that we use on our children. Now, when you say this to your child will pull back. And whatever it is you tell your child, that child will not listen to those things, but will rather dwell on that you are a useless child, you are a good for nothing child. The act, the child will forget, but dwell on the words you used on him, you used on her. So you need to be careful of the negative words you use on your children. You see, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy, you're a useless boy, you're a bastard. Please keep away from these phrases. Keep away from these remarks. Do not use these words on your children. Do not, please. Now, another one is when you tell let's say your boy child, oh, I wish I had a girl. Maybe your son did something wrong. And instead of correcting that child with love, you say, oh, I wish you were a girl. Or to the girl child, I wish you were a boy. How can you say that to your children? How can you do that? You wish, because of something. Maybe you feel that if that child was a boy, that child would have done it better. Or if the child was a girl, the child would have done it better. You now make those remarks. You think they're harmless. They are not. You have done something negative to your child. That child will now feel, oh, so he or she wants a girl. Or, feel that if the child is a boy, oh, okay, he wanted a girl. If it's a girl, oh, she wanted a boy. The child will have that perception Would now start wondering, okay, why am I born then if my father or my mother wanted a girl or a boy? So you shouldn't make such a remark to your girl child or to your boy child, to your children. Don't wish they were someone else. Please do not wish all that. Now, another one that parents usually do or usually say to their children is this. Sometimes you tell your child, see, your mother is a very useless woman. Don't follow her footsteps. Your father is a good for nothing man. Make sure you don't grow up to be like him. Tell me, how do you think that child would feel? Now, children look up to you, the parents, really. They see you as role models. That is why they do more of what they see you do than what you tell them to do. Now, when you make them to have that notion about any of the parent, how do you think this will affect that child? That child will be disturbed. That child would definitely be disturbed. Because maybe the mother he looks up to, the father she looks up to, you're now telling her or him that, oh, that man is useless. That woman is a good for nothing woman or a good for nothing man. Children have no idea of how to handle these negative remarks. They don't. They don't yet have that wisdom of knowing that, oh, my parents could be wrong. They lack that self-control. So you have to be very careful of what you say to these children. Now, the last but not the least, like I said, I would mention just a few. The next one is this. Oh, good girls don't cry. Boys don't cry. Who said that? I mean, where did you get that from? Crying is a natural response to overwhelming emotion. There is nothing wrong with a boy crying. There is nothing wrong with a girl crying. How can you now attribute crying to being good, to being bad? How? How can you now attribute crying to being a girl? Oh, crying is for girls, not for boys. That is why men grow up with pent-up emotions. They find it difficult to express themselves. Well, in some cases, yes, some men would not cry so that the family will not break down, seeing their fathers cry. But that doesn't mean that the man cannot go somewhere and cry to let out that stress. That doesn't mean that your boy should not cry. You can even slap the boy. Shut up, boys don't cry. Why to a boy? Why? Let that boy cry. The only thing you can do is to help that child to calm down, so that that child will not disturb other people. Help the child to calm down. Not boys don't cry, good girls don't cry, good boys don't. Where did you get all that from? So you have to be careful of such negative remarks you use on your children. It's all about positivity. Don't think that you can use these negative words to motivate your child. When you do that, you're only demotivating them. You're not inspiring them. You're not helping them, but rather you're causing more harm. So dear parents, tend to use positive words on your children. Do not use those negative remarks any longer. All right, I've come to the end of this. As usual, short and straight to the point. If you enjoyed this, please click on like, make your comment, and share to other people. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you.